जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. We were contemplating on divine love, love of God. In Ramayana, we see, especially in the Ramacharitamanus written by Tulsidas, a beautiful description comes, an important thing we have to know about the divine love. What will be the state of mind of total dedication and giving oneself unconditionally to God? One is, we all know Hanuman, who comes a little later in life of Rama. Earlier we see Dasharatha, who has Rama as his life force. If Rama is not there, his life goes off. And practically and actually it happens the moment Rama parts from the kingdom for Vanavasa, the Dasharatha, panting for him, gives up his body. Kausalya's love brings him up. Vashishta's love, with all wisdom and the supreme knowledge of the Brahman, knowing Brahman has the absolute existence, has taken the form of human, and we see in the Avatara Tattva, God taking form is the ocean remains as it is, and a wave raises in the ocean. And this way we see Rama, and Vashishta sees the Rama as a important, bright, glorious wave coming up in the history of human existence. The ocean remains as it is, unaffected. The Rama's manifestation is there. And Rama, actually the term Rama from the Ram Dhatu expresses the absolute, the eternal, unchanging, infinite existence is called Ram, Rama. And that is what the name Vashishta gives to Ramachandra, the son of Dasharatha, an incarnation, important incarnation in the Hindu way of thinking, Hindu life of a total oneself given to God. And here, as we proceed in the life of Rama, we come across another devotee, an exceptional personality who had nothing, no education, not belong to a higher class of life, not knowing scriptures, nothing of the higher thinking, a normal, lowest class of human existence, and it is Shabari. Why I am taking up this particular part is because where Rama himself tells about Navadha Bhakti, the 9 ways by which a person acquires the love of God. Thus, like Sri Ramakrishna tells us the 4 ways of acquiring the divine love by which one merges oneself in the divine. Whole thing dissolves in the divine to become divine. One with the absolute, one with the relative, one with all the jivas that exist, one with this whole cosmos. And that expansion, you see, in Shabari, she belonged to the lowest class, and Rama and Lakshmana, after losing Sita, are in search and great grief, passing through the inaccessible terrains in the forest and mountains of the land of those days. And they come across at one place this lady. And that ashrama belonged to a great sage, Matanga Muni. And this Matanga Muni was extremely kind and had great compassion for the lowly and downtrodden people. He opened his ashrama to all sorts of people without any distinction of caste, creed. Anybody can come who wants to dedicate their life for higher attainments. And many, many disciples lived there, and one of them was this lady. She was young and energetic, belonging to a tribal class of an uneducated but extremely devoted. She used to, main thing is to keep the whole ashrama neat and clean. Whole day she used to sweep and clean, wash, and everybody uses every place. And her hand would move, keep on moving from day, early in the morning to late in the night, keeping everything intact and everything beautifully arranged. Gardens, this, that, everything. What a beautiful atmosphere she used to create for the people to live there happily and joyfully. Unseen. See, there is Vyakta Puja of God and Avyakta, visible, perceivable worship of God, imperceivable worship of God. A person who is sitting in the temple and doing archanas, singing, chanting the mantras, singing the songs, making the arati and all this, it is visible to all. It is perceivable. The worship can be participated and known by so many. But behind that, so many unseen worship of the same Lord is happening. Those who are watering the plants that give flower. The flower goes for worship, and this plant is nourished by someone, time to time giving food, water, and all, taking care of that plant. Somebody is doing. This is a worship unto God, unseen by anybody. Washing the vessels. Nobody sees. It happens unseen. Silently, that person is washing. Washing, that each vessel is being used in the worship. So, all these are unseen. She used to do this unseen part. Nobody recognizes, but everybody understands. Everybody uses, everybody experiences. Every day she would collect flowers for the worship. Every day she would go and collect fruits, ripe ones, for the offering. And it would go to every sadhaka. And every sadhaka was nourished by her taking care of the ashrama in a different way. Nobody notices, but everybody accepts it. Everybody, her services reach everyone who lived in the ashrama. Such a life she led in the Matanga Muni's ashrama. And as the days would pass, Matanga Muni came to his old age. And the time of his departure, as all the bodies possessing all sages or anybody, even a realized soul, has to leave that body and go. So the Matanga Muni's time also came that he has to leave his body and go. Then he calls that lady. She is also becoming aged. And slowly she is now has crossed her youthful days, entering the Middle Ages. And then Matanga Muni says, see, you have been looking after this ashrama from those days since you came to this ashrama as a small young girl. And now it is, my part is over in this, I have to go. And many are ready to come with me. They have prepared life. You are also fit to come with me. But you have a purpose in your life. You have been loving Rama, your Ishtadevata. You have been collecting flowers for his worship every day. In different aspects, he lives here as the all-pervading Lord of the universe. And you have to live here and take care of this ashrama and be here, and your fulfillment, for your fulfillment, your devotion, your love, your sacrifice. Rama will definitely come here, believe in it, and spend your days till he comes. And you will have to give the message where and how to go further. And he gives her all the information that she has to convey to Rama when Rama comes there, and hands over the ashrama's response. She says, I don't know anything. I have no knowledge of scriptures. I am not able to manage these things. I can only serve the plants and trees and be with them. I may not be able to. These are people who are renounced and come at your feet as your disciples. I am not a guru. I am not a person of knowledge or wisdom. I can only serve. I don't know what will be the future if you live like this and go. He says your purpose is only to serve Rama, reach him and give him the message. And Matanga Muni leaves the body. Thereafter, we see a new phase comes in the ashrama. Many have left with the Guru and attained moksha. And here you see many other sadhakas are there because of the inability of Shabari to give them instructions with authority, to guide them in spiritual life. They all will start moving away one by one. Last she will be left alone in that ashrama. She doesn't bother. Everybody who comes, everybody who goes, she wholeheartedly offers them at the feet of Rama. Rama, they are going away. Take care of their life. Take care of their attainments. She went on offering all those who used to come in search of the Muni, and all that would go away. And she alone remained till she became extremely old, and she is not able to move about like earlier days. With that body, strenuous work of collecting the flowers and fruits continue. The body was not able to bear. Still, that body was struggle in the name of Rama. See, one thing we are missing from our childhood is we have not been taught and we have not accepted the part of suffering and taking strain for the sake of others and God. We are after the enjoyments, we are after the comforts, we are after luxuries. We are not able to accept suffering which is unavoidable. Avoidable we can avoid. Unavoidable we are not able to accept it. It's my own karma coming back, and it is coming back in such a way that even if suffering comes, it comes in not some way that is going to punish us, but make us evolve. Nature gives the suffering in such a way that it helps your evolution, and we resist it, we revolt at it, we take in a different way. This part of acceptance of suffering, suffering for higher ideas, renouncing the joys and comforts of life for the sake of higher attainments, we are not acquired in our life. These people knew the value of that suffering, taking strain for God. How she was unable, that old lady with a stick on her hand, walking on the tree, she has to collect every day. All she was doing, same flowers, same fruits. She would select, and the seasons passed. Days passed, night passed, years passed, and she is unaware of the time going. In her mind, only one thing is ringing in her ear is Rama is going to come. Rama is going to come. Every day, the dawn began with Rama's coming. Run about here, there, with that helpless body, run about, collect the things. Today is the day when Rama is going to come. The day would end with the Ramas not coming. And never get dejected, never get disappointed. Again the dawn begins. Oh, today my Rama is going to come. Every day was a new day, a fresh day, with more enthusiasm, more energy. Time is passing. He will come, he will come. Today he will come. The only phrase in our awareness, the time passing, it is not recognizing. Today Rama will come. Today Rama will come. Like that, years passed. She waits, and one day it so happens that Rama does come. Lakshmana and Rama, in search of Sita, do reach that place. And her happiness and joy has no bounds. She dances in joy, sings. She had forgotten singing. Every day she used to sing the Rama's glories, and after Vatanga Muni's going away, she had forgotten even singing the songs of Rama. She was busy with one attention, that assurance given by her Guru that Rama will come. And this day he has arrived, and her joy has no bounds. Bowing down, holding his Rama's feet, shedding the tears, she says, how many sages, how many munis, how many renunciates, how many sadhakas, the spiritual aspirants, have been spending lives after lives, dedicating every moment in thought of you. They are waiting for lives together, and you have, with one life's sacrifice calling upon you, you have arrived at me. See, the whole life she spends. As a small girl, she comes to the ashrama, and now is at the fag end of her life. She's happy that Rama has come. How much of patience a man needs, and look at her awareness of the other sages spending lives after lives in search of the Lord and not yet attaining, and Rama has blessed her with his vision. And here we see her telling, I am more blessed than any other sage in this world, because in this life itself you have made me. Though I had to wait whole of my life till this day, and now she wants to serve, she wants to love, she wants to give what all she has collected from morning. When Rama gives, each one she is biting, and she is selecting the sweetest ones. They should not be bitter, they should not be sour, they should not be unripe, and selecting, throwing away of the collected, even the little differences, sweetest, and Rama is taking that with great joy. Lakshmana by the side, standing and watching. The whole scene, Lakshmana had one awareness in his heart since the day he left the kingdom and followed Rama. So did the Sita, and none else had that grace of Rama to accompany him in the forest. Rama lost Sita also, and Lakshmana. Even now, Lakshmana is in the awareness. He is thinking that none supersedes me in loving Rama and sacrificing for Rama. I have sacrificed everything for Rama, and I love Rama, and no one else loves as much as I love. This we see happening in the awareness is slowly changing. Shabari is sitting with tears, holding on. Now she sinks in, now she feeds, till the whole thing pacifies, and she is looking bright eyes at the whole picture of Rama. Her tears have dried up. Love, she's filled with ecstatic love of Rama. She has forgotten this world, she has forgotten her body. She is unaware of Lakshmana's hand standing by the side. Nothing she knows. She is gazing at Rama. Lakshmana looks at this beautiful scene, kneeling down in half posture of sitting. She is looking with folded hands at the Rama's whole picture, lost in that love, dissolved in that love. At once, Lakshmana falls at her feet and says, Mother, you have opened my eyes. I have not seen or known anybody loving till now as you did. And I have become so low. I understand I don't love Rama now. This new awareness. You have superseded all beings in this universe in your love and your dedication, your sacrifice. It has no limits. Then Rama gives the Navada Bhakti to Shabari and tells how a jiva, the 9 types of stages or steps by which a ordinary jiva can reach the supreme state of love of Shabari. And he's at the end of giving these 9 steps, he tells any jiva, any being possessing even one step out of these 9s, by any means, he will acquire me. He owns me. His love is supreme. And he tells her, Shabari, you have all the 9 virtues. You have not fulfilled all the 9. What can be compared to you? Navada Bhakti. Even one if he has crossed the nature. He has crossed all the limits of bondage and suffering forever. He has entered the life eternal in the company of Rama. Even if one of the 9 bhaktis. And you see, she has got all the 9 aspects of this bhakti. And this is what we see in the Ramayana. Rama giving the 9 bhaktis. We will contemplate on this in our next class. But we are all capable. We have to remember that we are all capable of attaining at least one part of our love for God, which sanctifies our life, releases us from all bonds and sufferings forever from this world. And we must remember that everyone, every jiva, even we see in the Puranas, even ordinary animals in Rama's life, you'll see the Jatayu and all these people, Vanaras and all later on coming into picture. Everybody attains mukti, even animals attain mukti. Gajendra Moksha, you see. And there is no limit. A little can't we attain that love, we too, in the same way that all others have attained. Yes, we can. And that is our aim, that is our thing to be attained. Let us dedicate our life to that attainment. We will see the Navada Bhakti in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.